How's it going, everybody? I'm your host, Jacob Whitman, and today I'm joined by
Calvin Whittington.
Michael Yaki.
And today we're going to be talking about social media. So first off, how many of you guys use social media?
Well, I do. Very little of it, but I do use it.
I use social media almost every single day. Well, Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't use Facebook. But I don't really post anything. It's more just like looking through it and like seeing what's going on.
That's kind of what I do as
Yeah.
well, honestly.
So Calvin, what social media do you use?
Mainly I use Instagram. I only use it to get my like drawings and stuff out there.
Mhm.
Mainly, that's what that Instagram is used for. And I follow other artists as well. And
Right.
so, which a good thing about social media, if you want to get on the topic of that, is if you're like me and you're like, trying to find other artists and stuff out there, Instagram's a great place for that to
Mhm.
like
Oh, yeah.
find a whole bunch of different people. Like, I mean, it's not have to be art, for example, but it
Right.
could just be anything, find some similarities. And I guess you could say that for almost any social media,
Yeah.
but I find some new artists and stuff, and that helps me really see like, oh, well, maybe next time in my drawings I could do this or that, like, not copy this guy,
Right.
but like be like, ooh, I can incorporate this into my next drawing.
Right.
So Instagram's been great for me.
And like especially you, because I know you want to be like an artist.
Mhm.
So you could use that as like your personal portfolio or whatever.
Yeah,
So like when
yeah.
people search your name, they can like go through all your work.
Yep,
So-
and that's one great thing I love about Instagram. Otherwise, the other ones I have are Facebook and Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
I just skim through Facebook. I usually go on there for like there's a store I go to called Diss Traders, and I usually just look through there to see if they got any games there
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then see what also my friends are doing sometimes. It's mostly relatives and family there too. I found a lot of family members on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
Snapchat I just don't use anymore.
Right.
I look at what people are doing and then I just stop. It's mainly Instagram that I use.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't even count how many different social media accounts I have. I've got like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I do YouTube if you want to count that as like a social media thing.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sure you guys
YouTube.
do too.
Yeah, I can count
YouTube,
that.
I forgot. I just think YouTube is.
But
a
yeah,
lot
there's so
bigger
many
than
like
that.
different ones. It's just crazy to see, like, you go through the app store and you're like scrolling and you see all these like different like maybe like things you haven't really seen before, but they're still like considered social media programs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I always find
I
that
wasn't even
interesting.
think. I didn't even think of YouTube. I guess it's like
Yeah.
To be quite honest, since I watch a lot of YouTube, that might be my number
Right.
one.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
if we count that, otherwise it's Instagram.
So how important do you guys think social media is?
I mean, I think it can be pretty important. Depends on who's using it. If you're like me and you're using it to get your like work out there, then I think it's very important. If you want to, and also you can build friendships and everything. You can like meet new people.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, incorporate like new ideas into like drawings or whatever you're doing for creations because someone else is also doing the similar work.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can keep up with family members and friends and stuff if they're like
Mhm.
far away and they have like different lives and stuff and
Yeah.
like they just so there are good ways of using it. Also, I think a good way of using social media is also to see if some idiot is posting like saying like, oh, I don't know, I'm going to shoot up this or whatever,
Right.
and then somebody sees that, it's just an example, mind you, but they can easily see that, and just the whole internet and everything just tracking stuff.
Right.
I think it can be pretty good for the most part.
So before we go on to something like that, Mike, do you have any opinion about importance in social media?
I think it can be pretty important depending on who or why you're using it or
Right.
like who's on it
Mhm.
because like there's people on there that are like terrible and
Yeah.
like they can be the most toxic people you have ever
Yeah.
met on there.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube comments.
Yeah, just anywhere is like really,
Yeah.
it can get bad.
Mostly YouTube.
But like you can use it to like catch up with like current events and stuff. Like
Right.
there's so many things that happened that I've heard of on Twitter
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. And also like if there's a game you play or like another platform you use
Right.
like YouTube or
Mhm.
Twitch or whatever, that they can I'm going to use Twitter as an example. They can tweet out like what like if there's a new update coming out or
Yeah.
something like that, and like tease stuff like that.
You actually
too.
brought up a good point though about like video games and stuff like that, like so like Steam or some like sort of like online like Discord. Would that also count as social media?
Anything? I don't know, because it's like
It's like a chatting thing.
I would probably consider.
Well, if Snapchat's considered a social media, I'd say Discord would be, because it's both chats
Right.
and like direct messages based off that.
See, when I think of social media, I think of things like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Those are
But I guess
those
you
are the big
could
three.
like count like anything online as like social media, as long as it's like, I don't know, networking. I don't know.
Yeah.
As long as you're like talking to other people, or
Right.
like or just staying your opinion out there, like even
Yeah.
Xbox Live and PlayStation Network,
Mhm.
or like just playing online on
Right.
Steam can count as social media too.
Yeah.
I was just curious. I just think like nowadays, especially with that sort of stuff, it just seems more like
But
you know, much more like connecting with people. I think that's
Yeah.
always been the big thing with social media. That's why it's called social media.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
But whenever you say social media, the first things that people think of is either Instagram,
Or
Twitter, or Facebook.
yeah, all
Mhm.
that. And it feels like, at least to me, like almost everyone has some sort or has used some sort of social media.
At least one, I'd
Yeah.
say.
I mean, I know a lot of people that, tend to stay away from it, but it's kind of hard, because today we're so technologically advanced that, everything's like going on the internet, and,
Yeah.
you can fill out like job applications on the internet. I mean, not that it's social media, but I
Yeah.
mean, still.
There's more of your personal information on the internet than you think
Yeah.
there is.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, definitely.
Like you may like just put in a couple of things like here and there, and just go like, all right, so I'm not gonna share this part, but they might figure that out
Right,
anyway, just
yeah.
based on like what you look like.
See, like
what
you could type your like
see.
name into Google or something, and it could come up with like criminal history, maybe even where you live. They have Ancestry.com where they can go through your family tree,
Yeah.
and see like your relatives and stuff. That is pretty weird.
Not to mention people like just posting stupid stuff, and that
Yeah.
can easily go on. It's like back to Instagram again. I don't know. I like Instagram.
Yeah.
But
like all the people on Instagram,
but
that,
like
take pictures of their food.
Mhm.
I think on almost any social media, I think even Facebook, you post something on those medias, it'll go to Google Images when they type up your name and stuff. And then also for work, if you post something stupid, like
Oh, yeah.
say partying or smoking some weed or something like that, then like,
You could get fired.
well, that or you may not even just get the job to
Right,
begin
yeah.
with. You may
Yeah.
not like people look at you and you're like, oh, you're like a bum.
Right, because a lot of
And
employers will
to say
they'll
the
go
least.
and they'll like look your name up to see if you have any like, I don't know.
So there's always a good. You just have to be smart with social media. You
Right.
can't do like you can't post stupid things
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's very risky to post dumb things. I've posted dumb things before, and thankfully, some of these dumb things a lot of people have forgotten about,
Mhm.
and that I've deleted. And for the most part, I think sometimes deleting some of those things, especially if they were like minor stupidity stuff, like I said, like not offending somebody, but I said like a dumb message at one point, and I deleted it like nothing huge.
To like a person, or is
Well,
it
not
like
a person, but just say like I just said this dumb thing that like I don't need to post on social
Right.
media, like just telling you, describing like, oh, this is how I feel and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and like,
Oh yeah.
but no, if you're like attacking somebody and
Right.
stuff like that, I'm sure they're gonna remember it for a while, if not forever,
Right.
and probably won't talk to you again.
And I'm sure like everyone has done, if they have social media, everyone's done something stupid. They posted something that they didn't want to post, or they replied to a forum that was about something bad.
I guess one minor thing sorry to cut you off, Mike.
That's fine.
This won't take long. One dumb thing it wasn't even that dumb. I just posted coffee on Instagram because I thought at the time like everybody should have a coffee thing. I was young, but then I just realized this is dumb. This has nothing to do with me, so I deleted it. Like sometimes that sort of stuff like can easily get away. Like I'm talking about minor stuff like that.
Right.
It's the
Yeah.
big things again. But yeah.
I don't think, at least whenever I tweet something out, or well, mainly it's just retweets on my Twitter, but sometimes I would tweet something out, and I barely do it, and like whenever I do it, I always think before I like press the post button,
Yeah.
because well, first of all, I'm kind of socially awkward, so like
Uh-huh.
whenever like I'm typing something and I'm about to press post, I'm like, are people gonna judge me for this?
Right.
Screw it.
Sometimes for me, when I'm like posting on social media, I feel like I'm two different people. Like you'll see me at school, and I'll be kind of like socially awkward a little bit. But then on social media, you can say whatever you want, and just
There was actually, I remember this girl that went to my school. She was like, very quiet at school, but
Mhm.
on her Facebook and Twitter and Instagram.
yeah,
I don't think she had Twitter. She had Instagram and Facebook. She was like a completely different person. Always
Yeah.
posting stuff, and
yeah, it's crazy.
it's like, whoa, all right. There's a side of you I didn't know.
Right. So, do you guys think there's anything negative about social media,
Well, I think we've already covered a few
or like
things.
problems, like big problems?
Big problems with it. I mean,
Like I guess what I'm thinking is like bullying.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
bullying.
That could definitely be a problem.
Yeah,
I,
like-
I didn't even think about that.
Because
That's
and
always- yeah.
because bullies back in like before social
Right.
media,
Yeah.
like
Before the internet and
they could only bully their target
face to face.
like face to face, and like when the target went home, it was like a
Mhm.
breath of fresh air, like they
Yeah.
were away. Now with social media, they can't get away from
Right.
it.
It just follows you everywhere.
Yeah.
Let's say, well, unless you delete that account, but then again, like, you might, like, I don't know. There's also ways of like, if they do those comments, you can always block them.
Right.
You
Yeah,
can
that's
always
true.
use the thing, but for some weird reason, and okay, to be fair, I'm kind of guilty of this too. It's hard to block some people sometimes. It's
Mhm.
it really is hard, but it's there for a reason. If they're going to do that sort of stuff,
Right.
just get them out of your lives and stuff, and if they're still bothering you and like not on social media,
Right.
like in high school, talk to somebody.
And I feel like it's even easier for people to bully, others because, they can just, like you said, they can follow you anywhere and just say whatever they want.
And now there's bullies out there that like you don't even have to they don't even have to know you personally. Like they
Right.
can just they'll just have like an AVI, I think is what the
Mhm.
profile pictures are
Mhm.
called. Like they'll just have an AVI and like just a random name
Right.
and just like start bullying you. It's like
Yeah.
they don't know who you don't
Right.
know who they are. They don't know who you are. So
Yeah.
it's just like there's no way to stop it unless you block it. Which I always see the argument from people going like, why don't you just stay off the internet or whatever? I mean, I
Mhm.
guess you can, but
It'd be
it's
really
Noob
hard.
Killer
hard.
76. Stop playing Hanzo, you noob.
It'd be really hard to,
man.
Yeah.
stay away from the internet because, like we said, everything's advancing and almost everyone uses some sort of, technology. But yeah. So I guess should there be like an age limit, do you guys think? Because like I've seen people where they're like 10 years old, 12 years old, and they're using social media, and because older people will like look down on that kind of because they'll be like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example.
Well, Facebook when it first came out, they had an age which
Right.
they were the first social media
Yeah.
as far as actually no, MySpace was, but
Yeah.
MySpace and Facebook.
Ain't nobody remembers MySpace.
I remember when I was younger and I wanted a MySpace so bad, but my mom wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about it until later on.
Yeah, Facebook and MySpace, they had an age limit of I think 13, but I think MySpace is gone. See ya.
Yeah.
Facebook, I don't know. I don't remember if they I think I may have heard something. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I think they may have gotten rid of it
Mhm.
or at least
Yeah.
lowered it
Right.
to like 10 or something, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, that to me, I don't even remember, using any sort of social media when I was 10.
I remember when I was 10, like I saw my mom using it, I saw my
Mhm.
dad using it, so I was like, I want to be cool too. I want to use Facebook. So when I was old, like when I was 10, they made me a Facebook account
Yeah.
and I lied about my age. My Facebook says I'm
Yeah.
like 27 years
Uh-huh.
old. It's like even though I'm 18.
Right.
And yeah, I never used it. Like I was like, well, I'm bored now.
Mhm.
But now I see like 10-year-olds out there just like posting like pictures
Right.
of themselves or like just saying stuff on there, and like, I don't know.
And sometimes they
It's
can
crazy.
get hate for, I don't know.
I know YouTube's kind of a big thing when it comes to
Yeah.
that. That's where I really see like younger like kids like at the 10 limit. I think the youngest I've ever seen anyone on Facebook or even Instagram was about 14.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see that many young people on there from my experience. Or I just can't remember it, to be quite honest.
On my way home from the bus either yesterday or a couple days ago, I saw like this 5-year-old kid on Snapchat. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. And he has like an iPhone 5 or something
That's
like that.
crazy.
I'm like,
Lucky.
what?
Yeah. That's
I,
crazy.
I couldn't get a flip phone until 6th grade. What?
Uh-huh.
This kid has an iPhone.
Right.
It's like, what the heck?
Yeah. And going back to the whole YouTube thing, I used to have a YouTube channel when I was really young. And I would like post videos, and
Oh,
I would get the I'd get the worst comments on there. Just I'm trying to think of an example, but I just remember they were like awful. They were negative, you know. They were like, it was kind of like, I don't want to say bullying in a way, but it was kind of like bullying.
Yeah.
But
Like, back when I had a YouTube channel, like it was like when I first made it. It was because of this game it was a Star Wars MMO game that had the YouTube function on it where like you just press record on it. That's how I
Right.
got into YouTube in the first place, like recording stuff. So, but then the Minecraft craze happened, and I just started to make Minecraft videos, and let's be honest, they were terrible.
yeah,
I was like 7th grade,
Uh-huh.
and they were my little squeaky voice, just talking and whatnot, and for some reason I never got any. I only got like 1 or 2 negative comments.
mm-hmm.
The rest were just like either my friends or like just a couple random people going like, "Dude, nice video.
yeah.
We should do a series together." We never did.
And a lot of people are just like the people that would like leave the negative comments. They were just random people. I had never met these people.
Yeah.
And either they were other little kids or they were like people our age, just posting the most negative stuff.
I think like bullies and stuff, they just like to make themselves feel better, I guess. I
Right.
mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what bullies are.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's and I don't know.
It's just
a-
easier over the internet.
Yeah, true. It's not even like face to face because I mean, they don't know. You could be the buffest like 10-year-old ever, and then but you know what? They're safe hiding behind a little like computer and phone or whatever
Yeah.
they're using. I still can't believe that 5-year-old had a freaking iPhone and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't even have like oh my god, a PS3 when I was his age, man. I only had like a PS2.
When I was 5 years old, I only had a GameCube.
Yeah.
That was all I had.
I didn't get a phone until like I was in 8th grade, I think.
6th grade, and I got
6th grade?
6th grade for me, and it was like my mom's old BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Then I got an iPhone.
Right.
I think that's probably the
No,
same.
not an iPhone. A flip phone.
Flip phone?
Then an Android, and then the iPhone.
Yeah.
I had an iPhone.
I got a
forever.
flip phone middle school. I've had that pretty much all the way up till middle school, and then I think about freshman year I finally got my first actual iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I had it, honestly, I just didn't care for it. That's why a lot of people don't see me use my phone that often, because I'm one of those rare species that that's not addicted to their phone.
Oh, since I love to play video games, once I got an iPhone or a smartphone in general, and I went to the App Store and saw all those games on there,
Yeah.
I was in heaven for a
Uh-huh.
while. I was like, there's so many things to choose from. I don't know what to play.
Right.
But I do have a story about the YouTube negative comments.
Do you?
And yeah. So someone I know, I'm not gonna say any names. I'm just gonna
Mhm.
say, well, I'm just gonna make up names. Let's just say Bob.
Mhm.
So Bob has this YouTube channel, and he decided to post a video, and I think he was freshman, and he was basically in the video he was talking about stuff that he like just wanted to get out there on the internet for whatever reason. And then Jim, he this person I knew went into the YouTube comments and like wrote literally an entire paragraph of why the video was stupid, why he should.
And were they friends?
No, they were not friends. So basically, the entire paragraph read like, "You should. This is the stupidest video I've ever seen. Why do you think like this? This is just stupid. It's a waste of time. Wasted of like 12 minutes. You should just end yourself."
Oh my god.
Yeah, and what happened was I knew Jim, but I didn't know Bob.
Yeah.
Wait, Bob was the one who posted the video, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I knew Jim, and basically, him and his other friend, like I haven't really talked to him that much. Like I kind of grown away from him because I used to be friends with him. I'm not anymore, but I still talk to him sometimes. So him and his group of friends were laughing while they were doing it, and I didn't agree with it. I didn't want to be a part of it, so I kind of just stepped away from it. I should have done something about it, but I don't know why I didn't. But I just didn't agree.
How
with
old
anything.
were you when this happened again?
I want to say sophomore year.
Sophomore year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so basically, Bob decided to go to the principal, and because Jim made a stupid mistake of actually having his name in the username.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's fun.
What a dumb sophomore.
Yeah. So Bob reported it to the principal, and Jim and there's actually another friend of his that I'm actually friends with him right now, but he regrets doing that. So he's actually one of my closest friends right now, but he regrets doing that. That's why. So him and Jim actually got in trouble. Actually, no. My friend that I'm really close to didn't get in trouble, but Jim did. And basically, there was a whole event going on. Like everyone in the school was like, "What happened between these two or whatever?"
Right.
And I was there explaining some stuff to people. And at the end of the day, Jim got in trouble. He wasn't suspended or anything. He was just yelled at, and the video is still up, but I think the comments are disabled.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a little story about how that went.
That's one nice thing at least, that you can disable comments on that sort of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But one thing that I was thinking about throughout, and I feel bad for your friend Bob there, his video was very personal, you said?
It wasn't really personal. It was just like I forgot exactly what he said in there, but he was just speaking his mind, basically. Which I don't know if that was personal to him or not, but he was just speaking his mind. And at one point, he was saying, "Jacksepticeye, if you want to play Mario Maker with me, you can." I was like, all right.
Well, he just wanted to.
Right.
Who doesn't want to play with Jack?
Which was another reason why, which was another point that was in the paragraph that he wrote. He's like, "Why would he ever play with you?
Right.
You're just a nobody." And it's like, okay, chill. It was bad.
Yeah. Well,
there was this one time I had a game server, and I would get on with my friends, and I made this like little website for it. And so one of the people who played on there, I didn't know him personally, but he was kind of depressed, and I don't know if he, felt like he wasn't getting enough of our attention, but he also felt like posting something, and I'm not really going to describe what he posted on the website, but he had like done something to himself, and he posted it on my website, and it turned into this huge thing. It was like an actual picture, so you could see. And I was like, I want to say 10, 11.
Wait,
and
he did something to himself? Like
we don't know if he did something to himself or if he got an image off of like Google or something and put it on my website. But just the fact that, I was seeing that as a 10, 11-year-old.
Not to mention that was on your website.
Yeah, it was like a part of like my, website. So I just remember it was like this whole big thing. We had to like get it removed. I didn't really know, how to work websites, so I had to go through this whole thing, like trying to remove it. And it was just really sad. and it was just really weird.
And that's something, and this was something I was going to bring up, is just like the whole, like, everybody bringing up their personal, like, sort of like feelings out there on social media, because that's a big thing also, is that a lot of people do, is they either use social media as a way, I know some YouTubers like to talk about their personal stuff that's going on as therapy, or, you know what I mean, but...
Yeah.
And I think in some ways, I feel like maybe your two friends here, I'm not sure, I'm not going to say, but maybe that was therapy for them, which is not very good, especially Jacob's.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Definitely Jacob's, but, you know, that's probably one thing. I think there's some people that use that. I think at one point on one of my social medias, I think I sent a message that was very therapeutic for me. Was it good or bad? I don't remember. Is it deleted? Probably is. But yeah, sometimes you just want social media is a way to, like, you just want people to
express your feelings.
You want people to also just notice you.
Right.
Yeah.
That you just want, you know, and it's an easy way when you got all these people that are following you and stuff like that. Maybe they're not even from the school. Maybe they're from, like, other places in the world, you know, because you could be lonely at school and stuff like that, and you just want to, like, you know, just
express yourself.
Express, because these are your people,
right.
And they're not even you never even seen these people before, but yet your best friend is somebody on World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
So,
one of my closest friends is in Oklahoma, and like I've seen pictures of him, but I never actually talked face to face.
Right. And you know, it's not a bad thing. I think social media can be a great place to have friends and stuff. I just think putting all that personal stuff out there onto the public, like really personal stuff, like for like a YouTube video or something, I think that's more for like a therapist or something to deal with. Like, get a therapist to talk about it.
You just need someone to talk to.
Or a close friend. Right. And I think if you can make a close friend on somebody with social media, then talk to them. Don't spread it out to like everybody. And I think that's a big mistake that some people do. It's a mistake that I've made, I think, at one point or another. And so,
like, there's this Call of Duty YouTuber I watched named Merc Music. And he was dating this girl for like 3 months or 4 months, and when he decided to propose to her, like, and that when he proposed to her, that's when he introduced her to YouTube and told his viewers everything.
Right.
Boy.
That split his viewer base. Like there's one side that is like, oh, I'm so happy for you.
Right.
Good, and like I hope it works out. The other side is like, why would you do this?
Right.
This is terrible. Why would you?
Yeah.
I'm on the side of I'm happy for you because it's his life.
Right.
Like we have no right to go into his life and like change anything about it. There's and then there's like another big YouTuber that's been like making videos about him and like criticizing him and like calling his wife basically a gold digger. And it's like, you don't know her.
Right.
Why are you doing this?
Right. Exactly.
And he even addressed the comments saying that you don't know her, and he was like, "Oh, come on, let's be real." It's like, no, you what?
You don't even know people.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, people will talk crap about other people, and they don't even have to know them.
And you know, one big thing that I've also thought about with like YouTube drama and stuff like that, like some of these like kids when they get into like some of these big people that get into arguments on social media, you know, there are kids watching you that look up to you. You know that when you're acting like that, you know you're not making a
reputation for yourself.
Not a good example to anybody, honestly. So, with that being said, what do you guys think that we could do for, like, you know, what people could do? I'm not saying everybody will, but just to make social media just, you know, good, try to keep it positive and everything, and make sure that it's like a, you know, well-rounded sort of area.
For me personally, I would set an age restriction on social media.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really know what age I would probably put it at because, you know, during my freshman year, I used social media a lot, and even in middle school. But I just feel like, you know,
I think about maybe 13 or 14.
Yeah, I would
I mean,
say
it depends on the parent, but I
Yeah.
think 13 or 14. Well, it depends.
right, because there's just so many, you know, dangerous things, and you know, it's just there's a lot of drama that doesn't need to happen. And I feel like it would just be a better lifestyle anyways.
And
Like,
to be fair,
I would
oh,
have,
sorry.
you're all right. I would have, you know, so much more free time if I didn't use like social media. So,
All right. So, prepare to hire me for this Twitter. I have an idea. I have an idea.
I got an idea for you.
All right. So, for tweets, I'm just gonna use Twitter as an example because that's the only one I use mainly. You can put tags on them, and you can filter the tags. Yeah, they don't have those.
yeah.
You can filter the tags, and like let's say for example for tags, there's like positivity, negative, drama, blah 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 blah. You can put that on there, and people can filter it out if
Right.
they want to.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, that would be really-
that might not work because people would have to do that themselves,
Yeah.
and like there could be some.
There could be. I can see some good stuff, but I can also see some negatives to it.
Like,
honestly,
Like for example, some person that just wants to be a jerk, puts tag positivity and goes like, you suck.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. I just don't feel like there's a way to completely stop it.
Yeah, there's no way to completely
especially
stop it.
considering that, like, you know, you can still get access to it. You can lie about your age.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'll.
27 years old on Facebook, but 18 in real
Yeah,
life.
exactly. And you know, somebody could easily, you know, make it for you.
Well-
if you're young enough to not have a Gmail
Yeah.
question mark.
Yeah.
But I think, I think what people should do is either use it to show like what they're doing, what their hobbies are, maybe, you know, just like show who they are, but not showing anything like negative or super personal and stuff like that. Like, just be fun, like
Yeah.
like vacations and stuff like that. I know some people like hate it when people like, oh, why are they going on this trip and I'm just stuck here at the house.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, that stuff is good. You know, like me, I like draw. I like put my art out there. I like showing people that I'm also into video games and a whole bunch of nerd crap and stuff. And then I can build like a community off of that, and I
Right.
can make friends off of that, and that can be for anything. So I think if we use stuff like that, yeah, I think social media is amazing. But you know, there's also a lot of ways, like we said previously, that could go wrong.
Yeah.
And as long as you stay away from that, you know, you'll be fine.
Right.
You'll be fine.
To make a more serious answer, that was just something that came out of the spot like that. And now I think about it, I don't think that would work. To make a more serious answer, I think it's just all about moderation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh yeah.
you just have to moderate. Actually, Twitter is implementing a bot where like, if you use words like kill or something like that,
Yeah.
it'll instantly get rid of it.
Oh.
Like, and it won't make it public anymore, and they'll instantly flag your Twitter for
Yeah.
and possibly suspend it for like a week.
Right. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway.
So any final thoughts?
Nah,
Nope.
the podcast has been long enough.
Yeah. I feel like we got everything. So
Mhm.
thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next podcast.
All right, sweet.
Bye.